There are times when you deserve more than a coffee break, so make a cup of Mellow Birds. You'll find its smooth, mellow flavor turns an ordinary coffee break into a mellow moment. Mellow Birds for mellow moments.
Every day should have some.
Mellow Birds. A hug in a mug. Why don't we have a look to see what's on the box today?
But from then on, Neil Foulds really got his act together, raced away with the next two, and Neil Foulds has won it by the score of 9-2, so it's Neil Foulds who will play Jimmy White in the quarterfinals. Now, who do you think is going to be in the final here on Saturday and Sunday? Well, you have a chance to be here to see it, because it's the United Kingdom Snooker Championship Quiz. If you win, and I'll tell you how to win in a moment, you have a pair of tickets for all sessions on Saturday and Sunday. We'll bring you here, all expenses paid, put you up in a hotel. It's a real VIP trip to the final. All you have to do is answer 4 questions about the United Kingdom Championship. And posing the questions are the world's top 4 players.
Going to be Stephen Henry.
The UK Championship began back in 1977. I was only 8 years old at the time, so I don't remember it too well.
I have to say, one of my best friends from school is a spitting image of Stephen Henry. Even to this day, he still looks like Stephen Henry. He'll probably never see this, but if he does, you know who you are. Stephen Henry. I used to love watching the snooker.
Question is this: who was the first UK Championship winner?
Now, just judging by his age, I haven't seen this clip. I'm going to guess who the other... He said the UK's 4 top players. Well, let's have a think about who they would be while sipping our Mellow Birds. Take your Mellow Bird sip. If I had to guess by his age, this is pretty early in his career, early 90s. I'm going to say the top 4 players are... Who was the ginger, the nugget? What was his name? Steve Davis, John Parrott. He was big in the early 90s, and it's got to be Jimmy White. Those will be the top 4 players. Mark my words. Let's have a look.
Was it Steve Davis, Patsy Fagan, or John Spencer?
So, question 1. Who was the first United Kingdom snooker champion way back in 1977?
The UK Championship is one of my favourite tournaments.
That's Steve Davis, told you. So I'm 2 for 2 so far, 2 for 2.
It certainly should be. I've won it 6 times. Interestingly enough, of course, there's only ever been one other English winner. So that's my question. Can you name the other English winner of the UK Championship? Is it A, John Virgo, B, John Parrott, or C, Jimmy White?
Got to be John Parrott.
Second question. Apart from Steve Davis, which other English player has been United Kingdom champion?
I made my debut in the UK 10 years ago, and the first player I beat is currently one of the BBC commentators.
He can barely talk. Oh, Jimmy White, you like the drink. Good player, though. Good player, the whirlwind.
Was it A, Eddie Charlton, B, Ted Lowe, or C, Clive Everton?
Question 3. Which member of the BBC...
Well, I can work that out because Clive Everton was the BBC commentator, so it was Clive Everton.
commentary team did Jimmy White beat in his debut at the United Kingdom Championship?
Only 2 players have held the world.
4. I got all 4 of them. Early 90s snooker knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's see where this goes.
UK titles at the same time. One is Steve Davis and one is Stephen Hendry. Now, obviously, Stephen Hendry is the man to beat in this tournament, but my question is, who was the last player to beat him in the UK tournament? Was it A, Willie Thorne, B, Dennis Taylor, or C, Doug Mountjoy?
And finally then, question 4, who was the last player to beat Stephen Hendry at the United Kingdom Championship?
Oh, Dennis Taylor.
So there it is, 4 questions, what we want, 4 answers, 4 A, B's or C's in the right order, either on a postcard or by telephone. The postcards only please, the address, BBC Snooker, the Guildhall, Lancaster Road, Preston, postcode very important, PR11HT, or you can pick up the phone and dial 0898 323 123. Just do the number again, 0898 323 123. The closing for the phone calls is midday on Wednesday, and the postcards, which if you're overseas watching in Belgium and Holland, you must use the postcard, you can't use the phone. Closing for the postcards is here at the Guildhall by 12 noon on Thursday. Good luck, hope to see you. I'll bet you're all scrambling for the record books now, aren't you? We'll be announcing the result and contacting the winner on, Thursday, selected at random.
You see, this is how all TV should be. A white, middle-aged man in tweed, boring, not trying to entertain. Fucking brilliant. This is what I'm all about, ladies and gentlemen. Loving this mild coffee.
From all the entries, both telephone calls and postcards. So here's the state of the championship as we come to the end of day 3. Stephen Hendry, twice the champion, will play either Tony Drago or Steve Newby from Wales. Jimmy White plays Neil Foulds. These are quarterfinals. James Watanabe plays either Steve James or Tony Jones. And John Parrott, the champion of the world, will play Dean Reynolds. A lot of quality.
So this must have been 1992 if Parrott was the champion. Or late in 91, because Parrott won it in 91. I'm remembering this old kind of racist joke they used to tell, which was there was a in the kingdom of Siam, James Watanabe was thought of as a god, and in order to pray to James Watanabe, you had to say Watanabe Siam, Watanabe Siam. All right, let's carry on.
A lot of interesting matches there. We begin day 4 here on BBC One, it is, at 2:15. It could be a bit quick-fire potting. 2 electric players, Steve James and Tony Drago, on separate tables.
Yeah. Nice beat. Come on.
Well, if you were expecting to find us at the door of the Skill Shop now, there's been a slight change to tonight's schedule, which means that we'll be open for business in 50 minutes at the later time of 25 past midnight. This is BBC One. Now, as tributes flood in from all corners of the music world to the late Freddie Mercury, who died last night, we've a celebration of his life and career with a special introduction from Elton John.
Freddie Mercury was an incredible innovative singer and frontman.
Can we get F's in the chat for Freddie Mercury, please, ladies and gentlemen? I'll take a sip of my Mellow Birds.
For a band. He was a very dear friend of mine, and it was a privilege to have known him for some of his life. He was very funny. He was extremely outrageous. He was very kind.
Some might say he lived his life like a candle in the wind.
And he was a great musician, and one of the great frontmen of rock and roll bands. It's very hard to be a frontman. I mean, there's not many you can think of that have actually pulled it off. I mean, you can think of Jagger, you can think of Daltrey, and then you can think of Freddie Mercury. And Queen were one of the bands to come out of the 70s that...
I'd have loved to have seen Queen live. I bet they were an amazing act to see live. Freddie Mercury was a great performer. Great performer.
Was so innovative. I mean, when you look at videos today, Queen started videos off, really. They were the people that had all the ideas to begin with. Freddie always had a sense of humor, a sense of outrage. They stole the show at Live Aid. Quite simply, he was one of the most important figures in rock and roll over the last 20 years. I will miss him. We will all miss him, I think, for his music and his humanity. And
I do want to quash rumours, because my dad always used to claim that Freddie Mercury was Iranian. The Iranians love to claim Freddie Mercury. I feel like that's fake news and always has been. He's got like some strange heritage, but he's not Iranian. He's not a true Persian anyway.
And the great thing is we still have his music to remember him by, and some wonderful footage to remember that Freddie Mercury was something special. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Elton. All right, that was today's Mellow Moment, and I'll be back tomorrow for another one. Bye, everyone.
There are times when you deserve more than a coffee break, so make a cup of Mellow Birds. You'll find its smooth, mellow flavor turns an ordinary coffee break into a mellow moment. Mellow Birds for mellow moments.
Every day should have some.